My name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we're going to continue our video series designed to educate our viewing audience, so please subscribe to our channel. Divorces are very expensive. They're expensive financially, they're expensive emotionally. There are some things that people do, and we see this over and over again. There's certain pitfalls that are pricey, that occur during the divorce. And one of those pitfalls, well, we want to talk a little bit about that because I feel that if we can maybe tell you what the pitfalls are in advance, our viewing audience might avoid those and ultimately save themselves a lot of aggravation and a lot of money. Number one, obviously, in divorces, you're paying by the hour. It almost never happens that somebody's getting a flat fee for a divorce. So you're paying by the hour, and that means that the lengthier the proceedings, the more you're paying. Lengthy court proceedings, because they ratchet up the bill, is something that you should avoid. Now, you can't always avoid it. If you insist on sharing the custody and the other person doesn't want to give you any time with your kid, you have no choice. You have to go to an evidentiary hearing. You got to get rulings from the court. If you don't like the rulings, they might have to be appealed. There's nothing you can do about that. But when there is something you can do about it, you should make financial decisions that are governed by the dollars rather than by the emotions. You're going to fight about who gets which set of dishes. At the end of the day, it doesn't pay to go before the judge and fight over that. The stuff is always something by its nature. It's replaceable. It may behoove you to avoid that lengthy litigation and just get new stuff. Bargain with it. Use that. Say, okay, I'll give this, but I want that. It's always better to do that than to elongate the litigation process and have it become extremely expensive. There's also the issue of failure to consider long-term implications. I had a case once where that issue was a cabin by a lake where people would fish. And the family had this little, it's like a shanty. It's just a little fishing cabin. Not some beautiful place in South Haven or in Charlevoix, a little tiny on a little lake. The wife wanted that cabin. The wife wanted that cabin because next door to it, her brother had a cabin. So sort of like a family thing. Husband wanted that cabin. Why? Because wife wanted that cabin. He's trying to stick it to him. Why would he want a cabin next to his ex-brother-in-law? I have no idea. He wanted that cabin. So what did we do? We went to a mediator. The mediator said, we're going to auction off this cabin at $5,000 increments. The thing was worth about $30,000. They started at 20, and this one gave 5. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. By the time it hit 50, I'm kicking my client under the table saying, take the money. You don't need this stupid cabin. It's $20,000 more than it's worth. Take the money. Let him have it. Nope, she said she didn't want to do that because she knew him better than I did, and she did. She's married to the guy for all that time, and they went higher. 55, 60, 65, 70. She let it up at $90,000. Let him have it. He paid her $90,000 for that stupid cabin. And you know what she did? She took a $90,000 cabin that was next to her brother. She took her 90 grand and she bought the one on the other side of her brother. So here's the point. The guy who was bidding it up to $90,000 failed to consider long-term financial implications of what he was doing. It felt good to beat her, to get that cabin that she so desperately wanted. Now he's got to pay 90 grand for it. And you know where he got the money? He had to refinance the house. Very, very foolish, emotional decision that he made rather than considering it from a financial perspective. That was a very, very pricey pitfall that occurred during that divorce. Another aspect of a pricey thing would be, for example, if you try to hide assets. The reason why that's an issue is because you try to hide assets. If the other side finds them, if it comes up even after the divorce that you hid something and they find out, the divorce can be reopened. You can be sanctioned. You can lose 100% of the asset. You can be forced to pay attorney fees and penalties, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to do that. That's another costly mistake that ratchets up a divorce expenditure. If you have any questions about this, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.